Van Hunt said recently, right, that, hey, Halle Berry, who was married three times, he wants to put another ring on it. But she was like, nah, I don't know.
Halle is, I believe, like 58. And age should teach wisdom. And if age doesn't, then experience should.
She's already done the wife thing. She's tired of being a wife. She did it 3 times and it didn't work out for her.
Maybe she had a level of self-awareness, like, you know what? I clearly suck at this.
Just because he might be a decent boyfriend does not make a husband of him.
Kudos to him for still wanting that with her, despite her shortcomings that has been well documented. She's doing him a favor. Maybe it's a twist of fortune for my guy Van Hunt, right? Because he was on the hunt for Halle's heart. Well, he already has it, but I guess he wanted to put a ring on it. Because if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it, right? Apparently, they were listening to Beyonce. But Van Hunt said recently, right, that, hey, Halle Berry, who was married 3 times, right? I think he was married once. He wants to put another ring on it. He wants to walk down that aisle because she makes him smile. But she was like, nah, I don't know. It's up in the air, right? But Halle's well over 50, or not well over 50. She still looks good. She looks amazing, but she's a little over 50. Are the rules different? Do we feel differently about this? Because many of us are married. We're a marriage-centered pod, or we believe it. We're pro-marriage, right? But here's Halle kind of saying, hey, man, I don't know. I'm kind of good on that. We don't even really need marriage right now. Now, juxtapose that with people who've already been married, let's say for 20 years, and then decide to get divorced after 50, right? Is the playing field differently after 50? I mean, I know they fucking, but when it comes to marriage though, right? Because we all know people still fucking, the numbers are out there. But when it comes to like post 50, right? How do we feel about maybe somebody like Halle who's been married and she don't know she needs to get married again to, justify their love? And then you got people who've been married. And it's like, you know what, man, this shit hasn't been working out for me and I'm ready to move on. Right? Is there a difference between how men and women are viewed in these cases? What say you? Gender war. Let's talk about it.
First off, Halle is, I believe, like 58. So she is almost well over 50. I think you can almost say that because she's practically 60. And she's been through some things. You know what I mean? And age should teach wisdom. And if age doesn't, then experience should. And she's had both, right? And so I'm looking at her pause on this as a couple of things. So I'm gonna first give you like my more reasoned take. The reasoned take is the lady's taking her time. Okay, she don't know how much time she got left in life, right? And she needs to be, you know what I'm saying? So she could check out at any time. She wants to be sure that all her time is spent with the right person. If they already kicking it, why they gotta get married to say they're gonna keep on kicking it? All they gotta do is keep kicking it. They're so old, and the things in life that people get married for, to start a family, to build this and build that, they're already beyond those stages in their lives. So I'm like, girl, take your time, walk it down. You know what I mean? She shows that their bond is strong, and it doesn't need to be validated by other people. You know what I mean? Whatever they got, what they got, right? And he's like, hey, you need me to marry you so people know I'm really feeling that way? She's like, nah, baby, I don't need that. And I'm like, that's cool, right? That's my reason to pro. And let me tell you what the hustler side of me say. It say that Halle Berry is making a very shrewd move when it comes to the price of the pussy. Okay? Because what we're seeing socially is a commodization of the cooch, right? From the Vanessa, story, from who's having baby daddies with who. Everybody, even from WAP, man, there's been a price that's being put on the punani and what people should do for it and what it should go for. And what she is saying, because somebody labeled her with trash coop a while ago. I'm using all the names so y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay? Somebody labeled her a while ago. They said she had it bad. Now, if she turns this guy down and he sticks around, then the price of her goes sky high. Because who would stick around, propose, be turned down, and come again for some bad pussy? Nobody, I tell you. Nobody.
I'm literally stuttering. I have no words for what you just said and how you concluded that. I have no words. I have some words, but they're words that I can't say on the air. And especially not
We'll
within
beep it out in post-production.
Yeah. And so one of my questions is, what the fuck? And follow immediately by why?
What do you mean?
How did you get to that conclusion that she's withholding marriage because it would increase the value of her box? Because for a long time ago, people were saying her box was trash. And so therefore this versus, hey, maybe she tired of paying fucking alimony. Maybe she tired of these men taking her to the cleaners. And now she realized that this piece that she has i.e. peace of mind, not peace of her box, but her peace of mind is more valuable than what these checks she has to write. She's writing checks right now to her ex-husband, or at least 2 to 3 ex-husbands she's still writing checks for, and child support for one of them. And so maybe she decided, you know what? I don't learn the lesson. The first time, okay, I got it. Second time, okay. Third time, man, I got took to the cleaners, and I'm just not trying to get a fourth time, because even though we can have a prenup, even though we can have all of this, all these things will end up being renegotiable, and I'm just tired. It ain't got nothing to do with her goddamn box. But I'm going to say on the more positive side of the house of why she probably don't want to get married now that we've got the foolery and the fuckery out pertaining to her box. At least I hope that's what we got out. But for some reason, I don't feel like that's going to happen on this episode, because Delvin was talking about her box in the last segment. But anyways, with that being said, let me calm down just a little bit. Okay, it's not about the box. It's not about the, okay, anyways. So with that being said, I want to give some other reasons why she may not have wanted to get married. And one, she's already done the wife thing. She's tired of being a wife. She did it 3 times. And you know what? And it didn't work out for her. And what she get from a mediocre anniversary dinner and a man who still don't know what her favorite wine was? Probably not, because they probably didn't take the time to know that much. She knows peace is priceless, like I already said. Not her box is priceless. Her peace of mind is priceless. Also, what the hell is a benefit for her to get married at this age? I'm going to be honest, because great divorces are increasing, and that by the time they're 65, they end up divorced yet again, even if they got married at 50. And because marriage, even though most people say marriage benefit women more, that's a lie. Because men actually live longer when they're married. So make it make sense. So if she's already content and peaceful, why the hell she need to get married? I'm just saying. And I support marriages, and I actually support what I call elderly marriages too. And so I think you can find geriatric love where you can and be happy. And if that geriatric love, or love in general, is just companionship, I'm for that too. I don't think necessarily because she's already financially stable and she wants to stay that way. I actually believe that's her most fundamental contributing factor, is that she wants to make sure she keeps her money, and not deal with the foolery and the fuckery that came with the last relationship. And I'm not saying this guy's a bad guy or anything. I don't know him from Adam to Eve, and I didn't check out his net worth or anything. And so I think that she just valued his companionship more, and feel that at this point in her life, she does not need to put a ring on it. She's secure in herself. She know who she is. She's going through menopause apparently, and got a whole series about it. And she was like, hey, I'm good. Let me just enjoy this moment and let me just be. And I support that for her.
I'm forced to agree with S&M on this. Just a bit. You know, that why you guys put in these situations. Yeah, I mean, she's pushing 60. I don't think it's the necessity that it was, maybe 30, years ago, or whenever she was, a lot younger. I do support, gray marriages. I mean, it's great at any age, but I do believe this is more of an economic thing than anything else. Look, I don't want to spend my money again. I'm doing that right now. And she's been married a couple of times. So maybe she has a level of self-awareness. Like, you know what? I clearly suck at this. So you'll just be in my obituary as my special friend. And that's okay. We know who it is. And we'll just have to move on. That's just going to have to be what it is. You know, he should be listening. I'm with Halle Berry. Everybody knows it. It's not like she's not claiming him publicly. He's going to have to be okay with that at 60. But hopefully she'll change her mind. I do support marriage at any age, and it'll be a good thing if she does it. But I understand from a financial standpoint why she wouldn't do it.
You know what I love about y'all is that I just be nailing it on the head sometimes, just not often, but just when y'all do, you have to do a really good job of nailing it on the head, right? But I want to so I have to be creative in terms of where can I get in there, right? Now, I just hope that sometimes as men will pause. I tried to make a menopause reference there. It was a tough corner to turn, but okay, I still say if I can, I'm gonna try, right? But I do have a question. It's rhetorical. If your box was trash before menopause, ... And I want to focus real quick on the positive, right? Because y'all all talked. Y'all didn't mention my man Van, right? There was a story that we wanted to talk about. We didn't quite get to it, right? It was about whether or not men want relationships. And so my man Van, where y'all want to focus on the negative, was like, y'all want to marry this girl, even though I'm 60, even though I done been in a relationship before or whatever. There are men out here who are romantic still, right? Who believe in the institution, who want to, in the eyes of the Lord and their family and God or whoever, right, to do that. So kudos to him for still wanting that. You dig what I'm saying? And kudos to him for still wanting that with her, despite her shortcomings that has been well documented as far as her trash box and now with the menopause thing. So, so I think while y'all want to focus on the negatives, he proves that, yes, men want relationships and we can love a woman despite her having trash box. So that's number one. Number two, I also want to give her kudos because, right, she's doing him a favor. I think Delvin mentioned it earlier. Like, she's not wife material. Just because you get married doesn't mean that you're a wife, right? So yeah, she's been married 3 times, and kudos to her to having the self-awareness to say, you know what, I'm not good at this. I don't want to be responsible for somebody else. I don't have the emotional bandwidth to be able to maintain a long-term relationship when I have a certain level of commitment and a certain level of consideration that I have to have with another human being beyond my own self-awareness. Kudos to her for being able to recognize that within herself. And then that tells me she really loves him. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you can love a person enough to be like, you know what, nah, I know you want this thing. I know you think you want this, but nah, let's just continue to do this thing right here because it's the best that I got. So I think she is doing him a favor, right? And I agree with y'all, ladies. Surprisingly, it's not about the box because we know it's trash, right? I do think there's a lot of things that women can learn from this because some of y'all are beyond y'all relationship zone. And so continue to try to force it is just causing relationships that are inevitably going to fail, right? So maybe some of you have to carve out whatever existence you can within the construct of a relationship to feel like you can live to your dying days and still have somebody by your side. So I think there's women who can learn from Halle's hesitance here. But something tells me, though, because she hasn't cut it off completely, that there's a part of her that probably still wants it. Because, shorty, why are you still keeping him in the wind? From what I understand, it's still floating out there according to his own words. So it's not like she shot him down like, no, we're not going to do this. She's still considering it, right? Right. So that's where the disconnect happens because she might fall for it. Because I think inevitably she's a romantic person, right? Maybe. You get what I'm saying? And maybe you guys are right. Maybe it's the money thing, but I mean, she'll get more roles, right? I mean, how much money does Halle really have right now? Do we even know what he does? We automatically assume he's Delvin. But the point that I'm trying to make is, and this is the only thing I'll say to Halle if you're watching, if you want to marry this man, marry this man. I get that you don't trust yourself, and you probably have good reason to not trust yourself. But there's a sneaking feeling that I do think she wants to marry him, and I do think women who had a track record of having bad relationships don't trust themselves. This guy has been there with you through thick and thin. Maybe, yes, she has hurt. She hasn't had accountability. Maybe she's always pointing the finger. But if she can get the proper healing, and if she really wants to be with that man, girl, go ahead and do that. But just don't do it not because you don't want to, but because, oh my God, I'm scared I'm going to fuck this up again. You probably will, but you know what? That's life. Take that leap, girl, if you really want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So as toxic as I can be, I'm still a romantic on the inside because I can see them really wanting that for each other. And he got to be a great man to want that with her. And she got to be willing to let him do that. But she got to accept it within herself first. So Halle, if you're watching, girl, that's a freebie. You know what I'm saying? Don't say all love black women. Don't miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? That was my gift to all y'all single hoes out there. I mean, all y'all single.
Tia, please come
We
with
just
it.
supported
Please.
Black love and we didn't get any credit.
Please.
Somehow Halle became the bad guy in the equation of her not wanting to be married. I'm going to take something that you said and flip it just a little bit. Just because he might be a decent boyfriend does not make a husband of him. It is possible that she is very aware of this. And trash or not, her box was trash when he got with her. Her box was trash after the first time he did it. Her box was trash the first, second, and third year he decided to stay with it. So clearly for neither of them, that's not a primary factor while he's still trying to
That's not
marry
true.
the
That's not
trash
true.
box. He's trying to marry the trash box. The trash box is what said no. And I think that we're missing the fact that she still has the power. She's had one man who had a severe sex addiction and cheated all over the world and around the globe on her. She has 2 other husbands that were simp enough to go and take alimony and child support from her. If I was her, I would take my losses. First of all, she damn near ain't got enough money to keep paying these motherfuckers, right? Like you 0 for 3 right now, Halle. It's best for you to sit on your hands and your bank book and have your little boyfriend, significantly younger if you're lucky, and live out the rest of your days single and keeping your money to yourself and to your pockets. Give your kids something when you go on up yonder. Because all these people are going to do is monopolize and monetize and make money off of you to the extent to where they're going to come after you. And she knows that by experience. She's not messing with y'all knickknacks. She's messing with herself. And I respect that. She's standing on her own 2 feet and saying, if you want to be here, these are the criteria in which you're welcome. Other than that, scurry along. And I'm with that.
No, okay, first of all, let me correct the record here. From Halle's own admission, she had her box got worse moment. She talked about a time when she was with Van Hunt and they was somewhere she thought they had some. She had to call the doctor, and this nigga stuck with her through that shit. Okay, so yes, maybe early on it was like, it's just trash box. But for him to be there for 5 years, he's probably went through Perry and whatever's after Perry and Barry and Mary menopause at this point, right? So it's like, come on, man, that brother stuck with her. So no, I'm sorry, it got worse, and he still wants to marry her, right? And I get that she probably loves him so much. So I don't get how you thought what I was saying was negative. I'm saying I acknowledge the fact that she loves him so much that she thinks he deserves better than her trash box and the rest of her relationship deficiencies, right? So I'm saying, like, that's okay for a person to recognize he's loving her. So the fact that I gave him some love for showing up as a man the way that some of y'all women claim y'all want men to show up, all of a sudden that's me diminishing her from acknowledging the very truth that she is saying herself by not wanting to marry him. Come on, man. I don't see how we turn these things into these things.
So I'm just going to say this. First of all,
we're so far gone.
I noticed that you have this art of changing something that's exceptionally, because we don't know that's exactly what she meant. And as a matter of fact, perhaps she's telling him, hey, I don't want to get married, and I'm going to free you back into the wild so that you can find the person who wants to be married, because that person is not me. And that's some things that we tell that we want men to do too. Like if you know you're not going to marry this person and that's their expectation and that's what they want, then perhaps you should let them go back into the wild so that they can find their person and be equally yoked in that sense. And so for you to say that she loved him enough not to trap him with a trash box, and
sacrifice.
And I'm just like, what? But okay, I won't get distracted by the box. So with that being said, I'm just going to say this. I think that he should find the person for him. If he wants marriage, he should find somebody who wants marriage. I don't think he should try to change her mind, because if she's saying that's not what she wants, and if she is holding it to him, like, holding it in the wind, like maybe or could have, is no different than the men who do it to women who say, oh, we're going to have a long engagement, and then they never get married. Or they say, oh, one day I want to get married, but they know that it's not to that person. And then it's when you need to let that person go, because at this point, you're literally keeping this person as a placeholder because it's convenient to you. And so I think she is doing him a favor, not for the reason that you think is for, but because she realized that he's becoming a placeholder for whatever the situation may be, and he needs to go find his person.
I get that Halle's beautiful, right? And she's a superstar. All that is great. But if you have trash box and you want somebody to like, or even a bad attitude or a bad personality, sometimes you got to pay to overcome that. We say that to men all the time, right? If you have enough resources and you want to be with a certain type of chick, it could be because she's attractive or younger or whatever, we expect them to show up financially a certain type of way. Why would that be any different? Just because she's Halle? Right? I get that y'all believe that, but I think any guy, right? Maybe that's why we believe his motives is financial, but yeah, bitch, you got to pay. Like, you can't be like, Halle, cool. Okay, what other benefits am I getting? Especially if the box is trash. Like, that's a central part. Like, niggas will put up with a bad attitude before they put up with bad box. In fact, there is an urban legend that crazy box equals great box. Like a chick who's crazy, like, oh my God, she's crazy, she has great box. So you got a bad attitude and bad box? Then you better have some money. You gotta pay like Oprah way. What the fuck are we talking about? Just because she's Halle doesn't mean she gotta come up them coins. Why do you think the niggas before her who's getting alimony, I guess you want to complain about it, but nah, sis, yeah. You want a little cute little white boy you thought was all that in the bag of chips. Well, guess what? He stuck you up for your paper. You had to pay like Oprah way. What the fuck are we talking about? Let's go. The game is the game. You got. Even being Halle Berry, it's a shame that you are Halle Berry and you're getting got like this. So yeah, she should be happy that Van Hunt is in a hunt for her affection. I'm sorry, that Halle card has a lot of dust on it. You know what I'm saying?
Lord have mercy.
And
So
that
moving on.
on top of it, that bitch is like a blockbuster. Ain't nobody going there no more.
All righty then, moving on.